Next Gen reviews here, and I'm doing Black for the Xbox and the Xbox 360 and PS2. Okay, so let's start off with the game and the storyline. Now basically this soldier that's been interrogated since the war, basically you don't know anything at first and you start replaying memories. Basically Call of Duty Black Ops storyline, but obviously this game came out first, so you can kind of see where they got the same idea from. The game was made by EA, so that's a bit of a change. I think this game was pretty much the main one and made EA so big even today. So the story isn't too good, but it's okay. The gameplay is really good. I enjoyed the gameplay many times as well, mainly because it was really strong and it never really lagged or even frame rate would stay together. This is really good since basically even today's date of games don't stay like this. So like I said, the story is okay, but it's not too good. Frame rate is excellent. So let's just hear this conversation.
We had a terror cell working for us.
You can believe what you want. Fact is, Lennox was off the book, so there's no way to prove it. Very convenient. Lennox did the thing in the Congo, the special in the Philippines. This was professional contract terrorism. Lennox held all the cards, started making small deviations here, little switches there. Before long, things got out of hand. Mistakes started being made. Costly, bloody mistakes. Division decided to pull the plug on him. Miami got the call. Lennox took them all out, single-handed. Everything changed after that.
So what else did she tell you?
CIA's most wanted was Lennox. Different name, different profile, do not approach tag, but it was him. The most wanted terrorist was one of our own.
And you believed her?
Why wouldn't I?
What was your take on the next stop?
Destroy a steel plant being used as a weapons factory. Division figured if we couldn't cut off 7th Wave's head, then the next best thing was to disrupt our operations. It was deemed too dangerous, too politically volatile for a regular strike. So McCarver's crew was tasked. No way anyone in their right mind would volunteer for this.
So as you see there, you're basically getting interrogated. So the gameplay is good. There's also things you can kind of blow up, like destroyable objects. I found this really good and cool, and it was really fun as well. The gunplay here is really good. Like I said about destroyable objects, basically this helps you along the way taking the enemies out. Realism. Now this is a new feature I've just added into my commentaries and reviews. It's called realism, and basically I'm just going to talk about this. Okay, so if you played Battlefield, you're going to know about the realistic stuff. Well, this game's very realistic. Even just the shooting the floor looks really realistic. So yeah, it's basically my new feature. Sorry about that, but it is very realistic. What else should I say? Yeah, even just like if you reload, you everything in the background will go fuzzy, and then the gun will you'll be able to see gun, but everything on the other side will go like fuzzy. Okay, now the graphics. The graphics are really good. This is probably one of the best looking games I've ever had on my Xbox. Since this is for the 360, it's going to look a bit more better on the 360. But even on the original Xbox and PS2, the graphics looks just outstanding, and you can really tell what's going on here. You can even just switch stuff like around, and it just looks amazing. Okay, so since this is a first-person shooting, you gotta know about the AI. The AI is okay, but it's not the best, and they're probably just going to be running around and not going for cover, which you could say is okay, but it is a bit weird. I know that was a very strange but. Whoa. Replay value, this okay amount of replay value, but you're probably just going to complete the game once, not go back to it, since it is kind of hard at first, until you get better weapons. And that was the problem I have about this game, is I'll talk about it later on in the negative side of my review, so I'll just say about it in my negative side. Okay, now abilities. You have the ability of holding up to 3 3 medics. Basically, you're gonna need these medics because you're probably gonna die a few times. Also, there is kind of juggernauts, which is clearly what Modern Warfare got their stuff from, is juggernauts, and they can be a pain. So now onto the negative sides of the game. What I found really annoying was it was kind of, it is realistic, but it just turns into a shoot 'em up game, which is annoying because they couldn't make their mind up. This is why I really found this game hard to play, because they seriously just couldn't make their mind up of what they were actually wanted to do, either a realistic game or a shoot 'em up, and basically it turned up as a shoot 'em up, which it can be okay, but most times it'll be disturbingly different. I don't know what my word is there, but it's just really bad sometimes. It just doesn't go with it. It kind of feels like an arcade after a while. Definitely not very good. The first mission is awesome, and there's other missions as well that I enjoy. So let's go on to a night mission. The stealth is okay, but it takes quite a bit to actually kill an enemy. That's the only problem with this game, is it does take a while to kill an enemy, and it is kind of annoying. So I'm going to go on to even more negatives. Main negative is what I've just said there. Basically, the game can't make its mind up. Also, just the random missions, it doesn't make sense of what you're actually doing. The AI is quite terrible, and sometimes you're just going to feel like a lone wolf when playing this game. It's going to be a very lone wolf kind of game. Weapon damage just sucks, and it's just kind of ridiculous, to be honest. I mean, look at this, come on. This is what I'm talking about here. It's ridiculous how long it takes to actually shoot them. That's my main problem, and it's a shame. Controls is relatively okay. Okay, now on to sound. I know I forgot to put this in. The sound is outstanding. It's the best sound I've ever heard in a game. Just ever. I mean, the gunshots isn't good at all, and that's, I don't know why, but put it this way, the gunshots is the worst in the world I've ever heard. But the actual sound effects and the actual world that you're actually exploring, no, I mean, you can't actually go like loads around, but the missions are basically free roam, just a little bit, not too much. But the actual environment, environment and the trees and the atmosphere just sounds amazing. When you're walking around, it does really sound like you're there. Definitely a plus. I also found that the AK-47 for some reason was the best gun in the game. I don't know why. It's kind of annoying. I don't know why they did that. But now on to even more negatives. You feel solo, like I said before, but it is really annoying when you're like the only one and you have to gun down the whole army. Doesn't feel realistic. Even more than Call of Duty. So I would kind of think about that. If you don't really like Call of Duty that much, I definitely wouldn't get this, since it is kind of a lone wolf game. But you know, that's kind of like unrealistic. This is kind of where I'm coming from. Either it was a realistic game or not a realistic game, they couldn't really make up their minds. So that's not the best thing ever, to to be honest. So my other negative, which I have to say, is the three versions of the game, and they all have differences. Basically, the PS2 version looks colder than the Xbox. The Xbox One looks warmer, and the Xbox 360, I can't remember which problem it had, but it was quite serious. I think it was loading times or something like that. So talking about loading times, the game doesn't take too long to load, but sometimes it can take forever, and you don't always have the option of skipping cutscenes, even if you want to, because the cutscenes are very good and it's not really about the story. And if you're into story games, definitely don't buy this. It's not about the story, it's more like the action. I wish I could say the action was the best ever, but it's not the best action game ever. So that's, you know, they've kind of just put it down to the action, and I hate games that do that, because they put games down as action games, then go, hey, let's give them a machine gun, and then go and have fun. It doesn't work very well. The story isn't the best. Like I said, it's definitely not worth even going through, and there's no other modes, so it's kind of something you're gonna have to put up with. So it's not a game I would recommend to people that don't like these kind of games. A bit like me, I think they just couldn't make up their mind, and if they did make up their mind, it could have been the best action game on the Xbox, but obviously they just couldn't. So that's crucial of what they couldn't make up their mind about doing in this game, and it does feel a bit stupid. So the difficulty on this game is a negative. Reasons because it's just hellish hard. I don't know why they had to add medics in, and why to scatter them across the map. It's a dumb idea, and when you really need it and you kill an enemy, they don't always drop it. It's like, I don't know, it's like as if it's only sometimes, which that's okay, but I mean, when one drops it, you think that everyone would drop it, but no, it's only one every like 20. So when you really need it, they're just kind of laughing in your face and going, "Ha, you're gonna die," because basically that's what's gonna happen. They're just laughing at your face. So the difficulty with the medic kits is probably one of the negatives about this game. Very bad. The bullet damage is unrealistic, like really unrealistic. You could shoot down the whole building with an AK-47, which is a bit weird. Honestly, I don't know. See, this is kind of what I'm talking about. If they didn't want to make it, if they wanted to make it arcade, or if they wanted to make it realistic, they still couldn't make up their mind. And it was really crucial and potentially ruined it, since they didn't know what to do. So if you're looking for a shoot 'em up, probably buy this game, since it is a shoot 'em up and it's not realistic. Well, it is, but it's not. And I can't say it's the newest Battlefield 3 or Arama ever made, and because they couldn't make up their mind. And I know I've been ranting about it more than anything, but I'm just gonna give this game a total score of, try not to be horrible, but I'm gonna give it a 5. There's a hell of a lot of stuff going on, and the crucial thing that I found really annoying was if it didn't know what to do with the game, and that's kind of a shame. So I'm probably never going to really play this game again, since I only played it to do a review on it, since that is the reason I don't play this game, is because I didn't know what to do with the game, and that has potentially ruined my experience on Black. And it's probably done it to a lot of fans as well, or a lot of people that wanted to get it because it looked awesome but turned out it wasn't very good. So this is my review, and to be honest, I wouldn't recommend it. I wouldn't recommend it to anybody. That's kind of horrible, but I just wouldn't get it if I were you. Go and buy like Call of Duty Finest Hour or Big Red One or something like that. I just don't get this game. I think it was trying to be like it, but with like no online, crappy story, okay visuals, and sound is okay, but gun sounds are horrible. To be honest, I wouldn't recommend it. So yeah, basically, thanks for watching, and remember to subscribe and like, and what should I say? Oh no, okay. So yeah, thanks for watching. Goodbye.